Kenya go kopana le motho ka leng kwa Polokwane prison.
Ma.
Felix Khobane. Ke for podcast ya ka fela.
O kotsi motho la Mapitsi.
Afa wa tseba ga botsebotse gore ke eng se se o itokelang ka re ga sona wena no sentse maphelo a batho ba bantši kudu emisha ka se
Venue kwenzakalani?
I've made a couple of calls. I'm a response, but we have options.
We've had options for months, Stanley, and who still waits for responses in 2026? Kanti kwenzakalani? Ngikholelani? UStanley ushaye ezinye kuloko. Can you believe ukuthi kwamanje akayitholi venue?
Uluzo
It's fine. LJ.
baby. Oh, wait. Oh, busy. Wapetoha. Hane ke eng o na le nightmare?
Karen. Wele mabapi le taba ya Khobane.
Okay. Mpotsa go botsotse. Go diragetseng mabane bosho. Gape ga o ya gae o bonagala ka re tshwele.
A kere go boditse Tios go boditse gore ba ga go mo ba ntshwesheditse. Banghala ba re ke ska dira poledišane e kileng le Khobane.
Yeah, and ba bolela nnete. No, I mean really. O tlo ba le di nightmares every night for interview nyana.
No, it's just a nightmare. As into
Awa. And it tlo ba worse. After wena wa dula fase wa bolela le mthakole. Babe, Khobane wa tshosha. And o kotsi.
Wow. Fika. Yeah. Skeem. Skeem Saam. Skeem Saam.
No. Ke enjoy ya go raloka ka diraka. Of course, na le se kenya ka lo sona. Lo ke re sena ke se bile ka mo sona se kae?
Listen.
Oh. Ke leboga. Motlhomongwe o se tšee o se fa Ivy next time on your family outing. And then make sure gore a le tšwile le behave le tlwele go tshwenyana le bana ba bangwe.
Melita. Taba ya ga jwalo.
Oh. So go mpotsa na o tla mpotsa ka yona outing e ga nke be JK sa mpontša video.
Ele gore re gatišitšwe ke mang?
Oh. So ke sona seo fela seo le na o le taba le sona. Gore la gatišitšwe ke mang? Wow.
Ga gona motho yo a tshošeditšego Mapitsi. I mean, batho bao ba gatišitšego video ye clearly have no lives. Bana, taba ye ya Kepsese, re be re se ra e rerišana. Nka be ke go boditše.
Okay. Next time, ke tshepa gore le wena o ka se be le bothata le ha ke tswa for a family outing le Fefo le Jackie. Ka gore go molaleng gore ka mo gare ga lapa le la rena. We live like two separate families.
Pax, nke o mmotsa that outing was in
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, so the outing, thing is, after physio yaka, mama already ready beggar, and after ready beggar, and I'm playing invite le papa. No one as really take away game.
San, ga ona bothata ka outing ya le. And I think gore bile o feel guilty la gate. Wangwa. Ke ne ba ke le disappointed go papa. Ka gore ke duma gore nka re ke ba mpoditse tse. Okay, Jackie. Jackie! It's not about how I am not look. What can you now?
Hari papa, I tried it.
No, se phoso ya gago ngwanaka. Ba mo tseba Melita o dramatic.
Hey, yo.
Sa ka morwa nke mbotša. Mabapi le trial ya Kgopane. Ga se wa re selo ge re go botša.
Ba go boditše ga ke nyako bolela selo ka Kgopana, ke nyako le o nagana ka ena. So ke a gopela.
Sohlala senje. Sohlala ungiqumbele ungathetha. Intoni man, unyola emsebenzini fanele sohlukanise mina nawe i-relationship yethu ne-relationship esinayo emsebenzini.
You know what? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We are deflector, njengamanje. If you love me like you claim to, kuyokusiza ukuthi udivorce unkosikazi wakho. I won't be your side chick.
I know, but as a family, we're not on vacation. If I'll plan next year, okay?
Okay, but please just promise me one thing.
Yeah?
No flying, and I'd honestly prefer packing groceries instead.
Looks like we have another entrepreneur in the house. What's about myself and Uncle Leto? We never liked working at the supermarket.
Oh, Mama, guess who's gonna be working at the supermarket?
But Tamo lata ratne, and then get la drop a supermarket after we drop a rat go crash.
Okay.
All right.
King.
So when I go put your like a whole interview le Kgopane. Like what's it going to take or not look at the come?
Twist. O nagana gore nna ke be ke thabile ge wena o tšea tendera ya le ya kwana maybe ya ka morago ga se strategy. Awa, ke be ke sa thaba. But ke ile ka go thekga anyways. Akere?
Wow.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Ka tse gore motlhomong ga se ka go fa motlhala o mo botse, but wa kwešiša gore ke le ka go reng akere? Wena bo o kemišeditše go dira tendera yela o tseba di-risk tša gona akere?
Yeah, fela the risks tša gona. They don't put my family at risk. Go tshwana le wena. I mean, really, for eng? The normal? Oh, come on.
Kgopane o tronkong. Ga sa le kotsi go rena. Okay? And le gona se ga se mabapi le dinomoro fela. This is about me getting back to the roots of my journalism and integrity.
O ka no tšwela pele. O ipotša ka di integrity. We both know we are going trend. Numbers. Every day, numbers. No.
Yes, standing buka yona njengamanje. Yini le list yama venues, ama service providers ne budget ya Joy. But it's not what I asked for. No, listen, I don't care ukuthi ukwenza kanjani kodwa ngiyidinga kwi-inbox yami by end of day. No, Stanley, just do it. Hey, Bo. Friend, unjani? Lalela angikwazi ukukhuluma njengamanje ngicela ubuye ngikufonele.
Asikho isidingo chami yami bengifuna yazi i-catering service nayidinga ya.
Catering service.
We're chumi. I mean like for tonight, for later on.
E ka ba gona le selo se ile gore o se boletse ge bo mo isha ga maobane morago ga go bua kwa capsis.
Well, o re ena ga ana bothata. Ke boletše le yena mo mesong le gona.
Fela jalo ga ana bothata.
Yeah.
And then ga sa botšiša selo ka taba ya ka ya go gadimola Mapitsi.
Ivy, ga se wa mokgadimotša fela. O mo thušeditše. I mean, the video tša gona di all over social media. Ebile di ntšentšitše mathateng le Melita.
Nsale ga go le ena eno ba ile go rona le ta itshepi man.
Ga ebe matšhošetše a gago ga a šome. Gomme Mapitsi o tšwela pele le go nyakana le poledišano le Kgopane.
Ga se ka mo thušetša wena. Wa se tseba seo le wena ga se ka mo thušetša. Bobedi ba rena be re le ka go mo thibela go dira sa nyakang go se dira.
Ivy, taba ya ka ke gore ge a ka boledišana le Kgopane na go na le se sengwe se le gore se ka go senya leina seo se diregetšego magareng ga lena kua Mozambique.
Really, Obed? Ko re go ya ka wena be ke le mokana ngwane ke le holidaying ka Mozambique ke ja bose a se ka go botsa gore monna o le wa bantupile
Bona re tla bolela meeting ya ka ga se e fele be ke tlo rata se sengwe.
Ayo, into nakwenza ntona natwetwa. Ekavula ntona.
Hi, see, discuss our launch plans, Brother Stan, the man.
Ixesha. Kanifaka engqondweni.
So, for one, mina mangikhuluma iqiniso ngibona ngathi isikhathi sokuyiplana le launch lana asikho kahle.
Nkosi, make up time. Ukuba uhluleka ukwenza into encinci kangaka, then maybe Crazy Beauty akufanelanga. Masiqhubeni. Next.
Hlekazi.
Yes.
Kanene siyaqhubha. Silindele nje amakhotha wethu ile venue yase Melrose nayo yasesenthe. Otherwise iyakhala.
Makasela, sise meeting ngizofanele back ngisofisini, ba? Sure.
Kuyokusiza ukuthi ubuye ekhaya uzolungiselela ivakashi zakho lezoyimemi.
Or onyoko interview wa Kgopane. Mona ga ntse dama na tronko.
Ebile o nyaka go mo interview gona kwa tronkong. Naga.
Wait. Ele gore seo se dumeletswe.
Ona o tseba ma. Efela knowing Mapitsi o tla go mana tsela. Ona Mapitsi a go tsofale man. It's like sometimes ke ipitsa gore is it even worth rebuilding our marriage? Ka gore motho ka no tsoga no. Oh, today ke feel o gare ke need some more.
I doubt it will even get to that. And maybe Mapitsi is onto something. Or I don't know what's about ring. Look at the social media and podcast about what are controversy.
Yeah, quite okay. Lenna ke be ke nagana bjalo. Until I thoma over the nightmares. Ke ra gore le ba ga kgomo they threatened ba re tlogela taba ya Kgopane. Mara bona.
Jeez. That's intense.
Oh. It's like we're obsessed. Ka podcast ya gage man.
Yeah, mara bona moara. O re ngwena ge o sa leke go dira something ya ne o mo distract. Motla mo mo tšeo, o mo ishe bo di weekend away man, o mo treat le dira something e le gore e tla busha monagano wa. Wa bona?
Quite out se Mapitsi.
Also. Hey.
Dakala, kwaze ngibona kamnandi. Unyaka kamnandi ngempela. Khuluma eqinisa ngazi ukuthi ngakubonga ngani for ungenzela lokho.
Skathonyela, lena le dirembo nnete ba gore month end ke humana bank notification ka 12 o'clock on the dot.
Hayi ngiyakwazi ke wena udlali ngemali yakho. Ifuna la.
Yabona le? Biyogqibela. Ngeke enye ngathi nami sinedala nasoka ngapha.
Right. Okay, siyabo. Oh, Dakala ama-orders are ready. Stanley.
Okay. Quando joga?
Lelebetše feta cheese for the Greek salad.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
Okay, Stanley, I don't care ukuthi ukwenza nini kanjani. Ngicela ukuthi wenze sure ukuthi le email iku-inbox yami kusasekuseni. Uyaphi Nkosi?
Ke nagana ona le se a se lebetšeng ka koloing.
Great. Kunjalo ke mangabe uyekela izinto for last minute. Ivashi zethu ifikile, umuntu obabizile akekho. Angimazi ukuthi uvuneleni kulento. Coming. Hi. Welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Unjani uyaphila ngemali please.
Lapha kwethu honaka.
Oh, skatabo.
Ba tsekeng ke be ke tshogile nyana
Maabane ge ke boela ntlong, but yeah, I think ke sharp no.
So Tibo's here now.
Of course o tshwenyegile a kere o nyaka gore ke tlogele taba e ka moka.
Ke dumelana le Tibo Selena. Show me this is a sign.
Okay.
Bona re tla etsa something else.
No. O ska thoma le wena fentse, please. If anything, wa bona ga botsotse go tlhasela ke ba ga kgomo ka tsela yela has made me gore ke nyaka go dira interview e ke le go feta. Wa bona emotion yela ye ba e fila. Botlhoko bo ke nyaka bo bontšha ka moka ga bona. Ka go botsa wena, this is going to be ke sign. Hape ke fetša go khumana molaetša from number e ke sa e tsheding ka moko chef ke nyaka go bona ba.
Mapitsi, o delete number eo. What if ke batho ba ba o pranka? Delete.
What if I say prank?
Le batho.
A ke sontse ke ba founele ke gore ba reng.
Mapitsi, delete number e. Tlisa man wena.
Wena tshwara phone ya ka.
Ke phone te message.
Fentse.
O deng. O tla ke le botsi. Hey, kan ke nka lena.
Mo tlo rampe phone ya ka.
Fentse, please. Ke tlo fa yona. O ba itshola ka ntwe Mapitsi. Ska ba go botsa.
Ngicabanga ukuthi sivele siqale sidle. Unkosi uzosijoyina uma ngabe efika.
Okay. So fano uli wa munne wa munde asathushika.
Yeah. Seniko. Xolweni bana bahle. Xolo, bambekile. Uzwa. Hey, wena nomzana. Andiqonde sike sadibana nonkosikazi siyazana kodwa ndingunkosikazi.
Nende ne Chibas.
Chibas. Demulela. Welcome.
Nende ndikolibo. Bayadiva bone mfumakadzi wabo yi. Waba khonye gore rile. Wena basathushika.
Mina nokosashadile.
Oh, so ndi mafungo a fight and settle. Ni bangapha.
Hey, wena. Yeka.
Mimi. Ndikusiya nabo. Ndijuku.
Hey, Chibas. Diva ukuba wena ku-construction. Anginjani? Sebenza construction. Anginjani mama?
Masingathethi ngomsebenzi yazi thina let's just enjoy.
Do you see what I have to deal with? Huh? The queen Mayweather fight and settle. Anina mafungo. Hey?
Wouldn't you like some wine, baby?
Compare.
Sithandwa sami. Ngisase-office. Ngiqedezela nje umsebenzi umphathi athi ngokuqedezelela. She will need it first thing in the morning. Angazi ngizobuya esikhatsini. Kodwa ngiyacabanga ukuthi kuzobe sekulate kakhulu. I know I promised ukuthi awubhathe bese ngiyamlalisa kodwa. Njengamanje siyawudinga lo msebenzi. Ngiyawudinga lo msebenzi. Alumtshela ukuthi ubaba uyamthanda.
It becomes something that it wants to consume you.
Yes, he seems like a breath of fresh air. Go tell him I'm chatty before somebody else I'm chatting, sure. Hey, Chum. Ungangixeli uba kule hasa ukoyikisile ngomtshato. No, akona lokho. So, unkosi usashadile nomunye umuntu.
Skeem, unalifika, unalifika, kaofela riskimi me out. Never nipile monopoly ni la bufelo, me tlotlo ya hakuji wa mohoha di table, like who's gonna take over? Dimana kasi survive the changeover, but I proved them all wrong as a soldier dawn. Some wrote songs, I kept quiet and told my team hold on. Limoli fifteen, could tap I'm on the rhyming and follow where the sound lead. And I can do without your favorite beat me, Cuddy peanuts, I'm a jitty quarter to my heartbeat.
If someone had told Naledi that a single scratch on her car would destroy everything she believed about her marriage, she would have laughed. But that was before one ordinary Wednesday night changed her life forever. The deep silver scratch stretched across the driver's side door like someone had dragged a sharp piece of metal from the front wheel to the back. It wasn't there when she parked outside the supermarket in Randburg. Now it looked impossible to miss. Naledi stood frozen in the parking lot, grocery bags hanging from her wrist as she stared at the damage. Who would do something like this? She whispered. A security guard walked over and shook his head. I'm sorry, Cece. The camera facing the section stopped working this afternoon. Of course it had. She drove home frustrated, replaying every moment of the day. Maybe someone had hit the car by accident. Maybe it was an angry driver. Maybe it was just bad luck. Her husband, Sibusiso, barely looked up from the television when she walked into the house. Tough day, he asked casually. You could say that. He finally noticed the expression on her face. What happened? Someone scratched the car. Oh. That was it. Just, oh. Naledi waited for him to ask if she was okay. To walk outside and look at the damage. To get angry on her behalf. Instead, he muted the television for a second. Insurance will sort it out. Then he turned the volume back up. Something about his reaction unsettled her. Sibusiso loved that car almost as much as she did. It had taken them 4 years of saving before they could afford it. Usually he'd notice even the smallest dent. Tonight he didn't even step outside. The next morning, Naledi returned to the shopping center before work. She wanted answers. The manager apologized again, explaining that the CCTV system had been offline for nearly 3 hours. I'm really sorry, he said. No witnesses. He shook his head. Nothing. As she walked back to her car, an elderly woman stopped her. My child. Naledi smiled politely. Yes. I don't think the scratch happened here. Naledi frowned. What do you mean? I saw your car yesterday morning. The woman pointed gently. It already had something on the side. A chill ran through Naledi. That couldn't be right. She was certain the scratch hadn't been there before she'd gone shopping. Unless someone had damaged it while it was parked outside their own house. That evening she arrived home earlier than usual. The neighbors were watering gardens, children chased footballs across the street, and the familiar sounds of suburban Johannesburg drifted through the cool air. She casually walked from one neighbor to another. Did anyone happen to notice someone near my car yesterday? Most shook their heads. Until old Mr. McCona hesitated. I did see something strange. Naledi leaned forward. What? A white delivery van stopped outside your house. A delivery? I didn't see any company logo. What time? Around lunch. My husband was home. Mr. McCona scratched his chin. I think so. Naledi smiled politely before walking away. Her husband had told her he'd spent the entire afternoon fixing paperwork inside the house. Why hadn't he mentioned a delivery van? That night, during dinner, she asked casually. Did anyone come by yesterday? Sibusiso didn't even look up from his plate. No. No courier. No. No visitors? No. His answers came too quickly. Almost rehearsed. Nelody stared at him. You sure? He finally looked at her. Why are you asking so many questions? She forced a smile. No reason. But inside, a quiet alarm had begun ringing. Over the next 3 days, little things started adding up. Sibusiso became protective of his phone. He started taking calls outside. He volunteered to take the rubbish out every night. Twice she woke up after midnight and found his side of the bed empty. When she asked where he'd been, he simply said, couldn't sleep. She wanted to believe him. After 12 years of marriage, trust wasn't something you threw away because of a scratched car. Was it? Saturday arrived with heavy clouds hanging over Johannesburg. The electricity went out just after dinner. Load shedding. The entire neighborhood disappeared into darkness. Nelody lit candles while Sibusiso claimed he was tired and went to bed unusually early. She stayed awake reading by torchlight. Around 11:45. She heard the front door open. Very slowly. Not the way someone moved when they couldn't sleep. The way someone moved when they didn't want to be heard. Nelody held her breath. She quietly slipped off the couch and peeked through the hallway. Sibusiso wasn't in the bedroom. The front door stood slightly open. Her heart began pounding. She pulled on a jersey and stepped outside without making a sound. The street was silent. Only a few houses glowed with backup generators. Then she saw him. Sibusiso was walking across the road toward an old abandoned property that had stood empty for years. In his hands, he was carrying a medium-sized wooden box. Not a cardboard box. Not a toolbox. A heavy wooden chest with old brass corners. He looked over his shoulder twice, as if making sure nobody was watching. Nelody ducked behind her car. Her breathing became shallow. What are you doing? She whispered. Sibusiso disappeared behind the abandoned house. For nearly 10 minutes. He didn't come back. When he finally emerged, the box was gone. His hands were empty. He brushed dirt from his trousers, looked around one last time, and calmly walked back home. Nelody remained hidden in the darkness, unable to move. The scratch on her car. The mysterious delivery van. The late-night phone calls. The lies. And now, a strange wooden box hidden in the middle of the night. She had gone looking for the person who scratched her car. Instead, she had just uncovered the first piece of a secret far more dangerous than she could have imagined. Nelody didn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the same image, Sibusiso walking through the darkness with that old wooden box clutched tightly against his chest. Whatever had been inside it mattered enough for him to sneak out in the middle of the night. And whatever he had hidden behind that abandoned house, he had lied to her about it. At 6 the next morning, Sibusiso was already dressed for work, humming softly as he poured himself a cup of coffee. You look tired, he said. I didn't sleep well. You worry too much. He kissed her forehead, grabbed his keys, and walked out the door. Nelody waited. 5 minutes. 10. Then she watched his car disappear down the street. The moment he was gone, she picked up her handbag and hurried across the road. The abandoned property had been empty for almost 8 years. Its broken windows stared out like hollow eyes, while weed swallowed what had once been a neat front garden. Children in the neighborhood believed it was haunted. Adults simply avoided it. Nelody pushed open the rusty gate. It squealed loudly. She froze. Nothing. Only the wind. She continued. Behind the house, the grass was waist high. A few discarded tires lay scattered near a collapsing shed. Then she noticed something. Fresh footprints. Someone had walked here recently. The grass had been flattened. She followed the trail. It ended beneath a large jacaranda tree. The soil looked darker than the surrounding ground. Someone had dug there. Recently. Her heart raced. She knelt down and brushed away loose dirt with her hands. Within seconds her fingers struck wood. The box. It was buried only a few centimeters beneath the surface. Nellody looked around. The neighborhood was quiet. No one had seen her. She pulled harder until the wooden chest emerged from the earth. It was heavier than she expected. Old. Weathered. Its brass lock was scratched, as though someone had tried to force it open years ago. She swallowed. Part of her wanted to leave it exactly where it was. But another part needed answers. She lifted the lid. Slowly. It creaked open. Inside wasn't money. Not jewelry. Not drugs. Not a weapon. Instead, there were dozens of old photographs. Carefully tied together with faded blue ribbon. Nellody frowned. She picked up the first picture. It showed a young woman standing beside a tiny brick house somewhere in rural KwaZulu-Natal. She couldn't have been older than 20. She smiled brightly at the camera while holding a baby wrapped in a white blanket. Nellody had never seen either of them before. She turned over the photograph. Written neatly on the back were the words. Our first day together. Never forget your promise. No names. No date. Only those words. A cold feeling settled in her stomach. Beneath the photographs lay a stack of letters. Every envelope had been opened. Every page had been read countless times. The handwriting belonged to a woman. If you're reading this, it means you still haven't forgotten us. I know your new life is beautiful, but our son keeps asking when his father is coming home. I don't want your money anymore. I only want him to know who he is before it's too late. Nellody stopped breathing. Our son. She whispered the words aloud. No. Her hands began trembling. This couldn't be happening. She read another letter. Please don't make the same mistake your own father made. Another. He looks more like you every year. Another. I'm losing hope. Tears filled Nellody's eyes. Had Sibusiso been hiding another family? Then she noticed something tucked underneath the letters. A small leather pouch. Inside it was a tiny silver bracelet engraved with one word. Sifo. She had never heard that name before. Not once in 12 years of marriage. Nellody suddenly heard footsteps. Crunch. Crunch. Someone was outside. She slammed the box shut. Her pulse exploded. The footsteps came closer. Then a man's voice. Who's there? It wasn't Sibusiso. It was Mr. Makona. Nellody quickly stepped out from behind the shed. Oh, it's just me. The elderly neighbor looked surprised. My child, what are you doing here? I dropped something. His eyes drifted toward the dirt on her hands. Then to the wooden box beside her. For several seconds. He said nothing. Finally he sighed. So. You found it. Nellody froze. You know about this? Mr. Makona lowered his eyes. I was hoping you never would. Nellody stared at him in disbelief. What do you mean? The old man's face was heavy with regret. There are some secrets that destroy everyone they touch. Before Nellody could ask another question, a familiar engine echoed down the street. Sibusiso's car. He was back. Much earlier than he should have been. Mr. McCona's face turned pale. He wasn't supposed to return yet. Nellody looked toward the gate. A car door slammed shut. Footsteps. Fast. Determined. Coming straight toward the backyard. Then Sibusiso's voice rang out through the silence. Nellody. He sounded terrified. Not angry. Terrified. And in that moment, Nellody realized one chilling truth. He wasn't afraid she'd found the box. He was afraid she'd discovered what it really meant. Sibusiso stopped a few steps away, his face pale and his eyes filled with fear. Nellody, please don't judge me until you've heard the whole truth. With trembling hands, he opened the old wooden box one last time. There was never another wife, he said quietly. Saifo is my son, but he was born before I met you. Years ago, Sibusiso had fallen in love with a young woman in rural KwaZulu-Natal. Before he could marry her, she died in a tragic accident, leaving their baby to be raised by her elderly parents. Crushed by grief and overwhelmed by poverty, he made the biggest mistake of his life. He walked away, believing the child would have a better future without him. But he never forgot. Every month, in secret, he sent money, letters, and gifts. The old wooden box held every photograph, every letter, and every memory he couldn't bear to throw away. He hid it because he feared Nellody would believe he had betrayed her. Tears streamed down Nellody's face as she realized the scratch on her car had been caused by the unmarked van delivering Saifo's latest school records. In the confusion, the driver accidentally scraped the car and left before anyone noticed. The mystery that began with a scratched car had uncovered not an affair, but a man's deepest regret. Weeks later, Nellody insisted on meeting Saifo. Instead of losing her family, she helped make it whole. For the first time in years, Sibusiso stood beside his son without shame, while Nellody welcomed the young man with open arms. Sometimes, what looks like betrayal is actually a wound someone has been hiding for years. And in the spirit of Ubuntu, forgiveness didn't erase the past, it gave everyone a chance to build a better future together.